and I just got like the scare of my life. And here he is. What is going on, YouTube? Greetings from Miami Everglades Thousand Trails Park. It's January 1st, 2021, the first day of the new year. My #1 New Year's resolution is to do more stuff. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna get out of this RV park and we're gonna head down to Flamingo, Florida, which, if you don't know, is deep into the Everglades. It's the last stop on the highway that runs into the Everglades. My van is already packed up and ready to go. It's right over here. So let's do this. This video chronicles one of the most amazing days I've had in my 6 months living in my van. You get to hang with me an entire day in the Everglades. I go on some hikes, I make lunch, and yeah, you're gonna see some crocodiles, 2 actually. Also some manatee and even a poisonous snake. So make sure you stick around to the end. So like I mentioned, we're headed to Flamingo, and one of Flamingo's claims to fame is you're very likely to see things like manatee, crocodile, alligators, and some rare forms of birds like ospreys, things like that. So that's why I'm headed down there. It's about an hour and 15-minute drive, but almost the entire drive is through the Everglades. So I think this is gonna be really, really cool. So we just entered the Everglades, and you can tell right away, it's kind of shocking. It's a bunch of farms, and then immediately you see swamps, different kinds of birds, and it's just really cool. So here's the little entrance rock. It's kind of cool. They built the sign into a big rock here. I have absolutely no idea what to expect with this Everglades park. I mean, you hear the word Everglades and things come to mind, but I really have no idea what this 45-minute drive is gonna be like, how much we're gonna stop. So this should be a lot of fun. Anything interesting, I'll pull off to the side of the road and stop and check it out. So there's all these cool little pull-off points. This is the first one I've stopped at. I'm gonna see what it's all about, but I think we'll get a nice little view of the Everglades as well. So yeah, this is really cool. So there's all these like little knowledge points. So this is Tree Island. So as you can see, it's a very swampy area, but it's kind of changed my perception of what a swamp is. This is beautiful. It's like grassland, but with water. It's actually really pretty. I think when I think of swamp, I think of like muddy and nasty, but this is different. This is beautiful. One thing I learned right away was there were tons of pull-off points where you could find different hikes and different viewpoints. There's no way I could show you every single one. The video would be really, really long, but I'll show you a few, starting with this first hike at a place called Pinewood. Yikes, someone shot that sign all up. This is called Pinewood Trails. There's a bunch of little pull-offs when you're in the Everglades. They lead to a bunch of trails. All the ones I've been on are either paved or there's some kind of bridge. This one's no different, it's paved as well. You're walking basically through the swamp though. Look. You can see why it's called Pine Woods. It's full of pine trees. So we're gonna do this little loop here and then hop back in the van and see if we can find any more little cool trails and pull-offs like this one. Isn't this an amazing place to hike? This hike is actually about 20 minutes, but let's hop back on the road again and see some of the other pull-off points. Next stop, 9 Mile Pond. So I'm gonna pull over here. Looks like a really pretty place to have lunch. Let's go check it out. Can you see that huge vulture right there? It's huge. And there's a warning sign that says, vultures may cause damage to vehicles. And as usual, we have my favorite sign, which is, do not approach because of alligators, snakes, and other wildlife. That's always fun. All right, I'm gonna do a little pan shot. Let me know if you see any alligators out there. All right, that's beautiful. I don't think I'm gonna stop and have lunch here. I'll stop a little later. We're gonna hop back in and get closer to Flamingo, I think. You're gonna hear me say I'm stopping for lunch a bunch of times in this video, but I keep getting distracted by different things to do out here in the Everglades. But eventually, I'll come back to 9 Mile Pond to have lunch. Okay, so we've arrived to Flamingo. It appears to be some sort of marina type place. There's a store and it looks like there's canoe and kayak renting. So let's get out, check it out, and see what this place is all about. If you're enjoying this video, please hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment below telling me where you're watching from. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. That's kind of cool that you can park your boat here. There's a bunch of little piers here too you can walk out on. Is there? Over there? Oh wow. This way. Thank you. This really nice lady just clued me in that there might be a crocodile over there, so we're gonna head over that way. If you watched my last video, you'll know I didn't even know there were crocodiles in the United States. I thought they were just alligators, and crocodiles were in Australia and South America. We might get to see a crocodile, yeah! Not too close though. So, first wildlife spotting. There is a snake over there, and I'm pretty sure it's poisonous. I don't know exactly what type of snake that is, but I'm pretty sure it's a water moccasin. So if you know, type down in the comments what kind of snake that was. He looks like he's just pretty chill. We didn't really bother him. That is absolutely insane. How cool is that? Less than 5 minutes of being here, we see a crocodile and a poisonous snake. I thought that guy that was creeping up on it might get eaten, so kept the camera rolling. So you have the river there that runs north, and that's where we saw the crocodile. He's right over there somewhere. But if you go the other way, this leads out into the Gulf of Mexico and eventually the Atlantic Ocean. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna jump in the rig, find a nice place to park, and have lunch. I was definitely ready for lunch at this point, but the Everglades has a way of pulling you away from what you thought you were gonna do and showing you something else. Whoa, I see something bobbing up and down in the water. I think it's a manatee, so I'm gonna wait on the lunch. I'm gonna get parked real quick. Ah! I don't wanna miss it. This place is so crazy. So many cool things to see. I've got to get parked here real quick. I'm over in the boating section. But since I got a long rig, maybe I can get away with parking over here. Alright, so I saw the bobbing over here somewhere. So let me see if I can find it. Oh, there it is, there it is. Did you just see that manatee? I'm gonna go to a little bit lower dock. That's so cool. I thought they were white. Those ones are like brownish, blackish color. What color are manatees normally? All the pictures I've seen, they're kind of a white color. Maybe this is like a different kind of manatee or something. This is like a freaking zoo here, except for they're in the wild. So cool. Now that I see it closer, I can tell that it's not really black, it just has barnacles all over it. That's so crazy. That is so cool. Does anybody know how long they can stay underwater before they need to get a breath? Seems like they're coming up like every 20, 30 seconds or something like that, but I wonder if they can stay under longer. I wish the water was clearer here. I would really like to see the whole manatee, so we'll try to find some clear water. Oh, there's one right here. Oh, there's two. That was so cool. All right, let's go try to find a spot to park and eat. Once again, the Everglades had other plans. I'd have to put off my lunch for one more hike. Actually, you know what? I see a little trail over here. I think I'm gonna go on a quick little hike down this trail, see what it's about. All right, so there's some construction going on over here, but the trail seems to be intact. So let's try it out. This is called Guy Bradley Trail. You know, I read about this place and it said, you know, alligators, crocodiles, poisonous snakes, and manatee. And you see that stuff a lot when you go to a place. You know, these are the things you might see, but I saw them in like the first 5 minutes. That's insane. I'm like a kid in a candy store. You know, I said this year my goal is to get out and see more stuff. It's January 1st. You're probably seeing this on like the 5th or the 6th, but it's the first day of the new year and I'm out seeing stuff. I'm really, really happy if you can't tell. Pretty giddy actually. I don't know if you can see it, the sun is really bright, but there's a huge nest up there and I just saw a bird fly into it. I don't know if it's an osprey. I don't exactly know what an osprey looks like. Maybe you'll be able to tell me. You can see the bird. What a cool place. Like, I would have never had Everglades National Park on my list of places to go as far as national parks go. You know, I think of like Grand Teton, Yellowstone, Yosemite, Joshua Tree, but man, this place is pretty cool. I don't know how much of that you could see, but there's definitely a mama or daddy osprey up there and some babies. I saw multiple birds moving around there. What a cool place to build your house right on the beach. Oh, this is so cool. I'm just beside myself with like amazement of how cool this is. Oh, this is so cool. Found my own little private beach here. This is really pretty here. I mean, it's so cool. Look, I've got this whole beach to myself. Like, what other national park would that happen in? That's so amazing. So amazing. So my battery on my camera is running out. So I'm gonna head back to the van. And I think this time we're gonna find a spot to eat some lunch. Is it just me, or does every one of those sticks look like a freaking crocodile? Unbeknownst to me at the time, that was a little bit of foreshadowing. I would definitely run into another crocodile. On the way out of the marina, I figured I'd stop by and see if that crocodile was still there. He wasn't there, but I think he let his friend know that I'd be coming around, and basically his friend scared the crap out of me. If the crocodile was here, and I just got like the scare of my life. He wasn't there, but I was going out on a dock, and here he is, or maybe another one. Sometimes the camera doesn't really capture how amazing a moment like this is and the sheer size of the thing, but hopefully you can tell by looking at this shot how big this crocodile really was. Another crocodile. I haven't seen any alligators in Florida, but I've seen 2 crocodiles, which is pretty cool. All right, how about we actually go and make some lunch, and then we'll go on another hike where I run into the scariest thing I've ever seen in the wild. And we'll check out a cougar crossing sign. So don't go nowhere just yet. And if you've made it this long and you haven't hit that thumbs up button, I'd really appreciate it if you did. Let me show you just out the window here real quick. Gonna have a little lakefront lunch. You know, what's really cool about living in a van is you take your house with you. So I'm gonna make my lunch right here. I'm gonna open this door. And I'm gonna have this awesome view of the lake. Okay, today's gonna be a really super simple lunch. It's gonna be one of my staples, the sandwich. Grab a paper plate here. Got my favorite bread, which is Nature's Own. And it's the really thick bread. You could have peanut butter and jelly, but that's not what we're gonna do. All right, so first thing I'm gonna break out is the mayonnaise. I love mayo on my sandwiches. What do you like on your sandwiches? Mayo, ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce, what do you like? Next is the secret to my sandwiches tasting so good. Bread and butter pickles. All right, next up is some lunch meat. I've got this Virginia ham that I got at Publix. And we'll finish it off with a Cherry Coke Zero. Normally, when I eat, I sit here. I love that swivel seat there. I pull this out, which is a cutting board, and I put my computer over here so I can eat and do work. Look at this. How amazing is this? Lunch with that view. Doesn't get much better than that. It's been my goal since day one to answer every single comment I get until I can't physically do it anymore. All right, here's a question from a viewer, Sophia Pappas. She says, hey, great video. Why don't you ever use your stove or your microwave as an oven? So to be honest with you, Sophia, the biggest reason is I don't really know how to cook. If I knew how to cook, I'd probably use it more often. My microwave is actually a convection oven as well. So I could bake things in there if I knew how to bake. All right, we're gonna continue to explore the Everglades for a little bit longer. So I got a question. A couple places that I've been in Florida have the word hammock in the title. Like where I just turned is called Mahogany Hammock. Does hammock mean something else than what I think it means in Florida? Because I've been to a couple places that had the word hammock in there, and I was thinking I was going to see like a hammock, but I didn't see one. So I'm not sure exactly what the word hammock means here in Florida. Well, it appears that Mahogany Hammock is a little hiking path. So let's go check out what this path is all about. It looks like hammock is like a kind of vegetation, and all that crazy looking stuff in the water is acid from that decomposing vegetation. So that's pretty cool. Wow, this reminds me of like a zoo or something. I was really enjoying this hike. I was kind of like George Costanza's father. I had serenity now. It was so peaceful. And then all of a sudden I ran into the scariest thing I've seen on one of these hikes, a little kid throwing a temper tantrum. Reason number 786. That I don't have kids. Sorry for misleading you. I thought that would be pretty funny. Eventually the family let me pass and I regained my serenity. Wow, what a really cool little hiking path. I'm so impressed by this park. I know I've seemed a little bit giddy at times, but what an amazing day. My RV park is only about 20 minutes away from Miami, and this was only about an hour and 15 minutes away from my RV park. I think that's crazy that you can be in Miami 1 minute, and really in about I'd say about 40 minutes be at the beginning of Everglades National Park and all of this. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And if you like van life, hiking type content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. See you next video. Are you freaking kidding me? Freaking cougars? Cougars?